So Samsung launched the Galaxy A9 at an event in Kuala Lumpur on Thursday, and I was there to witness the launch and give you a quick hands-on of the phone. Now, the first thing that you're going to notice about this smartphone is the presence of 4 rear cameras. It's the first quad-camera smartphone that Samsung has made, and it's not a flagship device. It's coming first on a mid-range phone, which is kind of surprising. The 4 cameras together offer all the possible permutations and combination of smartphone photography. You get an 8MP ultra-wide sensor with 120-degree field of view, a 10MP telephoto lens with 2x optical zoom, a 24MP primary sensor that can bin pixels together for low light shots, and a 5MP depth sensor for your portrait mode. It does look good, but at least the features are pretty rich and plenty, but it remains to be seen whether they are really any good. For that, we need to test out the phone for a little longer and come up with a detailed review. Now, up front, you can see there is no notch on the phone. Samsung is boldly sticking to its no notch policy. There's a 3.5mm headphone jack, and correct me if I'm wrong, it does look like a Huawei phone, doesn't it? With its gradient color design, glass back. It feels a lot like Samsung has borrowed a lot from Huawei in terms of the design. Now, it still is quite big. It's 6.3 inches of screen, and yes, there is a big free button that comes up accidentally. Now, you get a Snapdragon 660 running on the phone, which is there in quite a few other high-end mid-range phones, and not so mid-range phone if you consider Realme 2 Pro. Apart from that, there is 6GB or 8GB worth of RAM and 128GB of storage with expandable storage options available as well. It runs, as you can see, on Android 8.0 Oreo with Samsung's Experience UI that's been there in almost all of Samsung's flagships. And yeah, it seems pretty smooth and slick, which is more or less what we expect from Samsung, but it's the long-term usage that kind of matters. Now, coming to the camera app, you can see there are quite a few new features added. This is auto mode, which automatically shoots your photo. I have live focus that can change the depth of field while you're shooting or even after that. There is another beauty mode that can enhance your selfies and portraits, a pro mode. This is scene optimizer that uses AI to optimize what you're shooting based on what you're shooting. And the super slow-mo, which is surprising. It's been a feature reserved for flagship phones so far, and yeah, it's there in the Galaxy A9 as well. You can shoot in 960 frames per second and then slow it down. You just need very good lighting. So yeah, and there's AR emoji, hyperlapse, and everything else. Now let's see how the camera really work. I will take a few shots and tell you whether it's really any good. So this is the normal shot. The 24MP lens is being used, and it's a bit difficult to change between the modes. And this is the ultra wide shot that has 120-degree field of view. As you can see, there's very little barrel distortion out here happening, even though there is some in the edges. But yeah, it gives you a good field of view out there. And finally, this is the 2x optical zoom mode that brings you quite closer to the object even when you're standing afar. Now, these are all the 3 modes, and then there's live focus, so that's how all the 4 cameras are being used. I feel like the UI could have been made a bit better. The switching between the 3 lenses is not so intuitive, and I kept missing, as you can see, I kept missing to tap on the screen to get the right mode. Apart from that, this one is at least it's there. These features are there. At least this implementation could have been better, but yeah, I think Samsung is going to do better using the same technology in its flagship phones for now, which will be sort of a game changer once you look at it. Now let's check out the other mode, the scene optimizer. I'm shooting this in the auto mode, and yeah, there's a beautiful sunset happening outside. So let's find out how the photo came up to be. Yeah. Okay. No, I have to go the other way, I guess. But these are all the shots I have taken before I started shooting the video. But yeah, overall, the Samsung Galaxy A9 is shaping up to be a good phone. We don't have a release date for India yet, neither do we have a price for you to say officially, but yeah, the A9 when it launches will give some stiff competition to the likes of the OnePlus 6, the LG G7 Think, and a couple of other phones like the Asus Zenfone Max Prime 1 and the Honor 10. But it remains to be seen how the long-term usage and how good the cameras actually are, despite the amount of features that Samsung has packed in. It all comes down to the quality of the camera. And yeah, this was Shubhajit's from Kuala Lumpur. And yeah, for more videos like this, do subscribe to digit.in and let me know what you think about this video. Thank you.